Welcome makers. If you're like me, you're always looking for ways to improve your 3D printing workflow. And on today's Maker Mashup, I'm going to show you a brand new tool, 4 years in the making. So this April celebrates 4 years of the Maker's Mashup channel. And it all started with this nozzle brush. This was our very first video, and I've got a card at the top so you can go back and visit it. But this nozzle brush has been used by so many 3D printer users over the last 4 years. I can't believe it. It's got thousands of downloads. I've seen so many comments where people have used this, and it's still part of my workflow today. And it all started because a friend of mine named Jesse had come back from a Rep Rap festival with something similar, and he was unsure what the material was that they used for these pads. So I did a little bit of an experimentation and found that these felt pads that you get for furniture to protect it from your hardwood floors was a perfect solution to the problem. And if I folded 2 of them in half, it created almost a perfect ridge for your 3D printer nozzle to ride in, being able to really clean that nozzle off. And if you haven't used one of these or seen one of these, you really owe it to yourself to print one out and give it a try. They absolutely work great. It's 4 years later, and I thought we would put together something new, and we're introducing the Maker Multitool. So this is so much better than the original nozzle brush because 3D printing has changed in 4 years, and so has the nozzle brush. So what we've got here is basically the same type of nozzle brush, except that you don't have to turn it now. There's pads going in both directions. This gives you the ability to quickly wipe the nozzle in both directions without having to turn and try to get your hand either in the printer, and with Core XY printers, sometimes it's a little bit of a tight space. So being able to just be able to quickly clean your nozzle, this works great. The other new feature of this is that it now has a steel wool pad on the back. So many 3D printers these days have PEI sheets on them, and it really does work great, but you often have to scuff up your PEI or PEX to really get a good adhesion for your 3D printed parts. And instead of handling that steel wool with your hands all the time, the nozzle brush here now has a spot for the steel wool. The other thing that a lot of people are using now that we weren't using before are a lot of deburring tools. So this has a deburring tool baked right in, and you just press the bit inside. In a little bit I'll cover how to put the entire thing together, but it was just another really easy thing to add to your nozzle brush because I'm using them on almost every print. And then the last thing we added as part of this was a drawer. So that way we could put the different deburring bits in here, but also those little acupuncture needles a lot of people, myself included, use to help clear some of the clogs out of your nozzle as well. So it puts everything right at your fingertips, and in a pinch, you can put a driver bit in the top and use it as a wrench to actually remove your nozzle. So you can change your nozzle with this if you don't have something like one of the modern Revo nozzles that you just unscrew the nozzle. So we're going to put this together today, and then at the end here, I have a special message for everyone right after the end of the instruction on how to put this new Maker Multitool together. So with all that, let's get to work. All right, to assemble the multi-tool, you're going to need a few things. We're going to need a steel wool pad. I use 000. Quad 0 would work as well. You're going to need one of these little deburring bits, and I've got a link for that, and these felt squares. We're going to start with the steel wool. This is a little less than a full pad. A full pad comes out to about here. And the best way to do this is to just roll this up, and then you want to put it in this side first. Now the way this is designed is that the felt pad, the steel wool, is actually kept in. These are curved edges that hold the steel wool in there. So once you get this pretty much in place, you're good to go, and now you can steel wool your print bed. As far as the deburring bit, there is a very, very small piece of extruded plastic in there that will catch this. So When you're going to insert this in for the first time, you may need to ream that hole out a little bit. What works really, really well is a little noise in my shop here from the wrench. What I tend to use is just the edge of the needle nose pliers here. If you rotate that through just a couple of times, it will deburr some of this. Now, first inclination is to use the deburring bit, but the problem with that is it takes a little bit too much off. If you've deburred it correctly with this here, this should be very hard to press in, but once you press it in, it will snap into place and it doesn't come out very easily. And then this spins more or less freely. It's very easy to just spin that around in circles. So that's the top half of this. So we've got the steel wool and we've got the deburring bit. And of course our drawer works just fine. And we're gonna assemble the other side here. We'll go ahead and start by folding these in half, just like the old nozzle brush did. You're just gonna start making about 4 of these. Now, one thing I did remove in this version, sort of, was the ability to have one pad that was flat. So if you liked that flat pad that was on there, I didn't use it as often except to just do a last wipe on the nozzle itself for anything that might have been oozing right before a print. If you want that, you can still have that pad, just place it right here and you're in business. You could also place it over here, but this is going to get in the way of any of your 3D prints. So once we've got that side in there, you just take the other 2 folded ones and put it that way. And now you don't have to rotate the tool. So the nozzle goes here and you're able to go this way, and then you're able to go this way, and that takes care of the nozzle, making sure that you've got all the filament off of there. And anybody who has had a different color drip onto their print because their nozzle was dirty knows how useful this nozzle cleaner really is. So there's the updated version here. So if you need a quick wipe, it would just be with this, or you can get that deep clean here. And then of course the bit fits in here, so that way you've got a ratchet if you wanted to take your nozzle off. You can just put that in there with the socket, and then this becomes a large wrench, and this doesn't get in the way. That's pretty much it. The assembly is good to go. And then inside your little drawer here, you can put additional bits, or some of those acupuncture needles, or even those drill bits for cleaning out your nozzle. So that's it. The Maker Multitool really is the next evolution of the nozzle brush. I will probably still use the original nozzle brush just because it is so simplistic, but the new multi-tool really does give me far more options, and I've got one of these now sitting next to every one of my printers. So I hope that in 4 years, I'm talking about the next evolution of the nozzle brush. And with that, I want to say thank you all for your viewership over the years. This has been a tremendously rewarding experience, and it's really all because of you. I read in the comments almost on a daily basis about many of you that are putting together all of the different projects here on the channel. And in 4 years, we have developed laser cutters, 3D printers, Core XY printers. We've done so much on this channel. We've built cold laminators and a dozen other different tools that you can build yourself in the shop. And if you're seeing this channel or this video for the first time, I really invite you to become a subscriber. If you haven't in the last 4 years, 80% of the viewers of the channel are not subscribers. Now's your moment. Click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, letting everybody know that you're now a member of the Makers Mashup channel. Now, one of the things I do want to say is that this channel was originally built around the idea of breaking down barriers for people that have access to 3D printers and other tools. And I think in the last 4 years, I've really come together on that goal and really provided a number of different videos that are tools that you guys can build at home, and then use to build other tools or other things. And I would love to hear down in the comments what sort of things you would like me to build over the next 4 years. As crazy as it may sound, it would be really interesting to try to build some of these things and see how it ends up in another 4 years. And I'm truly planning on being here for another 4 years. Like I said, this is a tremendously rewarding experience, and all of the viewers over the years have really been great. So thank you, most sincerely, thank you for your viewership. I do want to call out one more thing before end of today's video, and that is the Discord channel. The Discord channel started out as a place where people started working on the C201 printer and the X301 printer, and really just a support forum so we could communicate. But it's grown so much over the years to really a true makerspace for makers inside Discord. And I consider every single person in that Discord who I talk to on a daily basis really one of my close friends. It's so nice to be able to go to the Discord every single day and share my experiences and your experiences with me. And I think the channel has grown so much because of that particular interaction. So I definitely want to say thank you to all the Discord members. Especially want to thank Dano, who's really helped support the channel over the last couple of years and really has pushed me to make more videos. So thank you, Dano. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Sir Blind Fury. My gosh, you guys have all been so great. Steve, so many others. I could go on forever. God of War, listing so many of you guys that have really helped me. And if I didn't mention your name, it's not because I don't appreciate you. I definitely do. It's just I can't possibly name everybody today. So thank you all so much for being not just great participants in the community, but great friends as well. So with that, I want to say thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.